Hello, buddy. What's going on?
Hello. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just enjoying my day. It's such a lovely Sunday.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. You
Welcome,
beat a team that didn't even have their fucking quarterback. For
welcome,
Christ's sake.
welcome to the Furlough Files, folks, where there are winners and there are losers, and you will hear from both of them today.
I mean, you beat a team with fucking Mike Glennon as the quarterback. When was
Hey.
the last time Mike Glennon played a football game?
Listen, when you look at the stats at the end of the year, it doesn't say who started each game. It just says wins and losses. That's all I know.
You beat half a team.
Yeah, and we had a fit doing it because Mike Glennon's one of those guys. He's like he's not good enough to start, but boy, can he be a burr in your ass for 3/4 of a game.
I mean, honestly, the first quarter may have been one of the worst first quarters in football history.
Yeah, well,
That was absolute shits.
It just there was a lack of production, maybe, but I wouldn't say there was a lot of bad playing.
Jesus, that was bad.
Hey, at least you're not a Minnesota Vikings fan this week.
I mean, you know what? It's about time the Detroit Lions pulled one out.
Bro,
I feel like it's
but
always so close and it never happens.
But this is what happens. Like a team that hasn't won a game and you're 11, 12 games into the season and you're the team they get the win on, that usually means you're going to lose your job. Mike Zimmer in Viking land is probably going to lose his job. Just like, what was it? Brian Billick lost his job when the no-win Dolphins had that, man, I forget the guy's name. The big pass and we beat them and they showed Wayne Huizenga crying in the booth and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah, he lost his job. You can't be that team.
Can't do that.
You can't
Right.
do that.
Right.
So,
You can't be that guy. Right.
I think we once got I forget who was coaching the Oakland Raiders, but they flew all the way out to England to play us and we trumped them like 40-7 or something like that. And I think they fired him on the plane ride home. You know, it's like
they made him take commercial home.
yeah, they were
Coach.
he showed up with his bags and like no, this is for players and faculty.
You're on Delta, pal.
No, yeah, you can fly home with the wives over there.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So I appreciate your Giants. They are like they're honorary Dolphins as far as I'm concerned because two reasons. A, they're not in the AFC, so they're not like a rival until we would have to play them in the Super Bowl, you know, and or once every 4 years when we play them. And two, they beat Tom Brady twice in the fucking Super Bowls.
It's true.
I mean, listen, you gotta, and one of those times, this is the big one, preserved the perfect season.
Right.
So listen, like as a Dolphin fan, you guys are allies to me. I mean, you're invaluable pieces of Dolphin history as far as I'm concerned. But you know, it feels good to beat you guys when we do have to play you. So, plus we were on like a 4 or 5 game win streak. What would have been the point to stop now? I mean, it would have been rude to like.
It's good to see.
It would have been rude. Yeah, it's a little late, but who knows?
Right.
Maybe we could squeak out a playoff game that we lose badly to some top seed team. But yeah,
right.
You know what are you gonna do? So yeah, it felt good. I was kind of like in a bad mood today, and I got nervous because our buddy Marco, instead of continuing the reverse Marco mush, having basically through sheer will of his own created this winning streak by hating on the Dolphins, for him to have said complimentary things before the game began made me really nervous. Like I was going to walk over and give a piece of my mind to him if we had lost that game.
I still feel though he's angry in a win.
Well, yeah, because he's only happy when he's miserable. So
right.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. I said, and then I thought to myself, well, 3 or 4 kind words isolated once every year, versus all the hate and anger inside of him on a constant minute to minute basis. They don't balance each other out. There was no way to, once he put the mush on the team, that was it. So, The reverse mosh, that is.
Well, I got to tell you, this is my second podcast of the day today.
I know.
My agent set me up for a little, I had the little media run today, so I had to make sure,
folks,
get to all the media outlets.
Folks, enjoy being Anthony's sloppy seconds. This is what he thinks of you. That, you're going to get 50% Anthony here because he already did one podcast. So,
well, the lovely folks at the Across the Pond podcast, they treated me with respect. They didn't, talk down to me. They didn't, put me out there like that. They were very nice, those two. Well, Rich and Sophie, very nice people.
They're just getting to know you. They'll come around.
You know what? They put over the podcast. They put over, me being better than Billy Fives.
Oh my God! What time? Timestamp 6:10. Let me mark that for Billy.
They were very, very nice having me on.
Uh-huh.
We talked about food as usual.
Course.
Talked about everything. So yeah, put the website over.
Yeah. Well, at least you're doing it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, at least, right?
You got like deathly ill and screwed me on our sale, but what can I do about that? I can't be mad at you for getting sick. So what is it? Is it COVID? Is it the Omicron? What do you got?
No, I actually I got tested. I am negative for COVID and negative for flu. They actually told me that I had the Cobra Kai. It's the new variant. It comes with you had a Mr. Miyagi fever, and yeah, it's vicious.
You're starting to tread into some dangerous waters here.
Vicious. It's a vicious. Fauci will be on TV tomorrow talking about it.
The Cobra Kai?
The Cobra Kai virus.
Yeah. What's the treatment? Is there some crane technique involved?
It's actually you have to eat a lot of pasta and meatballs. It cures you right up.
Oh yeah.
So
you already dropped the ball on doing more Karate Kid references.
Honestly, the last time I saw the Karate Kid, I was like 3. I can't even remember the movie. So.
The ironic thing is, I literally watched a big chunk of it last night. Yeah, I'm flipping around the dial.
What else do you have to do?
Well, I mean, what, you don't watch TV sometimes?
Not very rarely do I watch TV.
Yeah, but sports count as watching TV. So I mean, come on, give me a break here. I mean, you're gonna beat me up for watching a modern American classic.
Whatever. Anyway, I got so I did my little podcast with them today. It was a great video podcast.
Oh,
I looked fabulous on camera.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it was a food podcast. So I thought it would be funny. I put my background as cannolis, and because it's the only picture I could find in the little Zoom background thing. And
you can upload your own.
I don't know. I was running out of time. It was like time. It was showtime. So I was like, crap. I didn't think ahead. Anyway, they popped for it. Well, it's funny. It's cannolis. But anyway, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
We ended the podcast last week, the last podcast, discussing milk and cereal, right?
Yeah. Then remember, what's funny is, let's chronologically do this. Was that night we had gotten the milk and cereal debate cooking so much that I was thinking about cereal that I had to eat some cereal as like a snack, like chips. So I had a bowl of like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch that I was eating dry, and it was delicious.
No milk.
No milk.
Who the fuck does that?
No milk. And so I let you know about it. I called you while I was crunching.
Right.
Yeah.
I took it to Instagram today.
Okay.
Because there was something you said that really bothered me that night. You said that you don't drink the milk after you're done eating the cereal. You put more cereal in or throw the milk out.
Right.
So I took it to Instagram.
Which means I just put more cereal in. I would never I'd never thrown it out if there's an opportunity to eat more.
I put, do you drink the milk out of the bowl after you finish the cereal? Little poll. Well,
wait. You didn't give the option of or adding cereal?
It was yes, no. There was no adding cereal. It was a yes or no question.
Wow.
We got 64 people said yes.
Mm-hmm.
I drink the milk.
Uh-huh.
A measly 25 said no. You, sir, are not. You're not right. You're in that 25 people.
Yeah.
You're in the measly 28% of people who, decide that they, for some odd reason, don't want to drink the milk. Like, it's very weird. Very weird. I find it odd.
You can find it odd all you want. It's the right way to do it, to add more cereal. Why would I just drink milk?
No.
That's disgusting.
No, and it's funny because I started getting some messages and people were like,
wait a minute. But if you had said, if you had made 3 options, I drink the milk, I throw it out, or I add more cereal, I bet you some of those I drink the milk would have shaved off into the I add more cereal.
Okay, but listen. Then I get a message from a lovely TikToker. He's got a lot of followers. His name is Kevin KevJD87 on the TikTok. He messaged me and
sounds
said,
made up. Sounds fake. Sounds like a fake account.
He said clearly this is a setup so you can weed out all the absolute psychopaths who vote no. Huh. Interesting thought process. So then I told him that me and you got into this dispute, and I said, me and my buddy, he wrote your ex-buddy, you mean? He said, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. But here's where it gets
I just want to know if this guy understands that I don't throw the milk out. I add more cereal.
You clearly said, though, if you don't want more cereal, you throw the milk out.
Right, but that never happens. It never happens. Whatever. Anyways, I don't drink milk.
Then I had to ask him, I said, how about cookies and milk? He said, wait, there's people who don't do cookies and milk? Yeah, you're a psychopath. You are a psychopath.
I don't like milk.
Cookies and milk?
I think milk's disgusting.
Classic. He's in the UK and it's classic to him.
The worst thing.
You are a psychopath.
Here's why milk with cookies is even worse than milk with cereal. Okay, follow this logic. Okay, when you eat milk with cereal, there's a little bit of milk left over that you could either drink or, quote, be a psychopath and throw out, okay? But even if you're a psychopath, you're wasting less. If you don't drink milk, when you dip the cookies in milk, you would have to eat like 2 packages of cookies to go through the milk you're dipping in. Otherwise, you're going to have even more milk that either is you have to drink on its own or throw out, because I don't drink milk. So if I'm dipping cookies in milk, there's going to be, you're wasting even more milk than with cereal.
Your logic is, you don't drink the remnants at the bottom?
No.
Like if some
we went through this
drips
already.
off?
We went through this.
I know. I feel like you're a psychopath.
Well, how would I if I don't dip cookies in milk?
Who doesn't even? But it's just.
I dip. I have dipped them in coffee before.
Well.
Which sometimes
has. I just felt like I had to take it to the
dairy in it.
I had to take it to Instagram.
I feel like you misrepresented me. I feel like this smear campaign is this feels very election cycle 2020, okay?
So what you're saying is I loaded it up there with that question.
Yeah. This became very political for some reason.
Well,
I feel like I'm being slandered.
Whatever. Anyway,
I feel like if other people agreed with me, and you heard from them, that you've edited that out of your brain and you're not reporting those anyways.
Well, I don't know. The messages are pouring in. People are just
pouring in.
They're just upset with you. They think they know it's you. They know. They know it's you.
I don't like milk. What do you want from me?
Oh, okay. All right.
I think drinking a glass of milk is disgusting.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Milk by itself is disgusting.
I just wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to just, the people have spoken. You are a psychopath. That's it. That's all. The conversation's over. Like, we're done.
All right. Well, what else do you want to get off your chest since you're unloading on it?
I'd like to get this cough off my chest, but I can't stop coughing. Today,
I'll let you vent since my team beat yours today in football.
Wow, this is I will say this.
Yeah, please.
I knew the Giants weren't going to win, and I knew that I would have to live. This is going to be days of this. This may show up in 6 months. Something may happen, and you're going to go. Remember December 5th when the Dolphins beat the Giants? Like it's going to come up again.
I feel like this would have been a good chance to have made a bet that we missed.
And I thought about it, and I said I'm not even going to say anything because there's no way they win. They don't have their quarterback. There's just no way. It's in Miami. No way. No way. So I knew, I thought about it. I said, no, he's smarter. He'll never think of a bet. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
I can't tell you how annoying it is that there's so many like displaced New Yorkers living in South Florida so that when one of the New York teams plays down here, it's like 50-50, you know?
Right.
Like there's nothing worse than watching a home game. And every time the other team does something, there's like this roar of the crowd, and you're like, "What the fuck, man?"
I mean, yeah. Who wants to be say they're a Dolphins fan?
I'm proudly right here. So anyway, what else you got for me, Mr.
What else I got?
Sicky?
I'm a little under the weather today. I went and got the dual COVID flu test just to make sure. And
is this like a janky home test? Like
I went to CVS.
Did you piss on a stick or something? Or
no, I went to CVS, and I got to tell you, like I had my incident with the eye doctor last week. This one wasn't as weird, but
no one.
I don't know if you.
No one. He didn't have a close shave with someone's nuts.
No, I didn't have nuts on my knee.
Now, wait a minute. Speaking of doctors and nuts on your knee and all this stuff, have you watched? God damn
I didn't watch it.
Why?
I'm behind.
You're about to be a full week behind on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right, I know.
This is crazy.
I know.
You really don't watch TV.
I don't. But I go to this. I don't know if anybody's gotten a test done at CVS, but you don't go inside. They have these makeshift wooden shacks built in the parking lot where you go to get tested in there. Now I've seen them, but I've never been in one. So I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. So the guy calls me and he says, "Are you here?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah, you.
And he's like,
"Thank God you knew to stick your arm in the hole instead of a dick."
Well, it's weird though because I was like, I don't know the deal. I've never been to it. So he's like, "Oh, I see you," and I'm like, "How does he see me? Like, that's weird. How does he see me?" I didn't realize he was looking through the little shack. So he's like,
"Is this kind of like a confessional booth in a church?"
Yes. But I don't know this going into it. So I'm like, I see the shack to the left, and I'm like, okay, what do I do here? And he's like, just walk into the one that says patients. So he's like, come in now. So I go and I open, and I'm like hesitant because I don't know what to expect. And I open the door, and it's literally like a confessional booth. Like there's a window in between.
Did you feel compelled to unburden your sins?
Yeah, I mean, I got down on my knees, and I was like, so I didn't even know what to do. So I walk in, and there's literally one chair, and like the chair is this thing is. I mean, you literally have a chair, and then you have like the middle partition thing that has like a little lip, and you can like stick things like there, not under, but there. And then he's on the other side.
It sounds like a glory hole booth. Like some pervert could make a replica of that one, put it right next to it, and 50-50 someone walks in the wrong one, and
right,
and the hole's a little lower down on the fucking wall.
It was weird. It was weird. So I walk in, and then I'm in my head, I'm having a conversation. So I walk in, and the first thing I think is, "Oh, this is weird. Like this is weird. It's tight. It's like." I don't even know. Like if somebody went and pushed it over, the whole thing would go. Like it's made of it looks like they just asked like the janitor to put it together with wood. Like it's not even like CVS went out of their way to make these nice. They're like it's like literally a wood box.
It's like a shanty type of situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go in and I'm in my head. I'm like, do I stand? Do I sit? Like I don't know what the procedure is. Like what do you do? So he's standing. And you could see him, and he's like, ID, and I need your ID, your insurance card, and your confirmation number. So I put the ID and the insurance card down, and I have my phone in my hand, and literally looks at me, looks at the ID in the card. He looks back up to me. He goes, turn them around. Like I had them turn the wrong direction. So I was like, oh, okay. Cause I thought he was going to take them. So I just turned them around. He takes a picture of him with a phone. So me, the conspiracy theorist, I was like, what if that's his cell phone? Like, I don't know. Like, what if he's taking a picture of my ID with his cell phone? Now, like, identity theft's going to happen, you know? Like, I don't know this guy. So he's not like a real doctor, I'm sure. You know, CVS is hiring any jabroni.
Pharmacist.
I don't even think he's a pharmacist. I think he's just the guy who was like working that day. Like, I don't even know. I don't know. So anyway, I turn around. He's like, "What's the confirmation number?" So I start reading it. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like, gives me the hand, and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I gotta see it," as if I would lie that I had a COVID test like a appointment.
Yeah.
Like, that was weird to me. It's like I would have lied about like I used someone else's appointment. I don't even know.
Well, this sounds like when someone takes an SAT for someone else. You know, like you're taking a clean COVID test for someone, so they want to have like a.
I guess, but like, so I show him the email. Like I could have sent that to anybody. Like, so I show it to him. He writes it down, but he writes it down on a notebook pad. Like. It's not like very professional. It's not like in a computer. He literally wrote it down in a notebook where it had other confirmation numbers.
Yeah.
Like just down the list. So I'm still standing at this point because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, this may be a backroom. This may be a backroom stock boy. This doesn't sound like the way.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, and he's like, he's like in regular clothes with a mask on. It's not like he's, dressed like a doctor or anything or a pharmacist. So, right. So he's like, he's got like laptops all around him, and his space is just as small as mine. So like I don't know how he can work in there. So he hands me the little tube and he goes, "Put it up your nose, each nostril, swirl around 5 times. And if you don't go far enough, I'll let you know." But he said it in like a way of like he was just like staring like through me. So I get the little thing, and I'm still standing because I don't know. Do I sit? He never said like have a seat. So like I didn't want to sit and him be like, "Why are you sitting?" I don't know. So I go up the nostril, and he like I looked at him, like I paused with it in my nose because I didn't want him to yell at me again. I looked at him, and he just like he had his like head kind of down, so like just his eyes were kind of like looking down at me, and he just nodded like as if you've gone far enough. So I gave it the swirl. I go up the next nostril. He does the same thing. I give it the swirl to both. He sticks out this little tube. He goes, "Put it in the tube." So I put it in the tube, and he's like, takes it, turns around, and like I'm just standing there. Like I don't even know what's going on. He's just standing to me. So I'm kind of just standing there. I'm standing there. And he's like entering some stuff into the computer. So I sat down. Like, I don't know. The minute I sat down, he's like, turns around, he's like, "Oh no, you're good to go." I was like, "Oh, like if I didn't sit, would he have not? I don't know.
Would he have not
I didn't
noticed you or something? You mean? Yeah.
Like I was just standing there, so I went to sit down. And he's like, "Oh, you're good to go."
Does this?
I'm like, "Oh."
Does this CVS have a drive-through?
It does, but they didn't make me go through it.
That's weird.
I find that odd, right?
I haven't gone to get tested, but
yeah.
I have a CVS right here. I'm wondering if they have the same thing.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. So I was like, "Oh," so I was like, "What? That's it?" And he's like, "Oh, you got to check the app." I said, I don't have the app. I don't really know what the app is. So he gives me this QR code. He's like, "Scan this, and then go. You'll log into the app, whatever." So I scanned it, and all I did was click it. He goes, "Oh, not here. You do that in your car." I said, "Oh, I wasn't doing it here. I was just like, all I did was click it to make sure it stayed on the thing, on the screen." He thought I was going to sign up like in the pod. I was like, no. So anyway, I go to my car, I do it. Within 15 minutes, I had the results back, negative flu, negative COVID. But my thing is like, they can do 2-on-1? Like, I feel like, is that even a thing?
They could test, they could test for a bunch of shit.
Yeah, so I got the double negative. So I just have the common cold, but it's pretty brutal. I've been coughing for days, not sleeping, coughing at night. My voice is raspy. I can't breathe. The whole nine. I'm a mess.
I should have called you at 11 so that you didn't blow your voice out on the first podcast. But then I wouldn't have been able to enjoy the football victory with you.
Right, of course.
But
I will say, on the first podcast today, my voice went out a couple times. I had to take a sip of water on camera because I was like, hey! I sounded like
you're hitting
Nick
puberty
when he was 12. Yeah, I was like, hey, like it went out on me. So I coughed a lot but I don't know. I'm sick. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sick. I got a cold. I get sick once a year. This is it.
So not only, well, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. But you're for your big cross continental fucking podcast, and you're not 100%. You're losing your voice. All of that. You probably blew your chance at whatever. I don't know, but you blew an opportunity there because you probably sounded like shit, just like here. You don't sound good, by the way. I know you have a meeting with someone on Monday or Tuesday for a big opportunity.
We can't talk about that though.
I'm talking around it. Don't worry. I think we could talk about it, but
no.
You don't want to mush it, do you?
Please don't. You and Marco and
I was just gonna say you better shape up a little bit here. You sound like this. They're not gonna wanna.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get well here because I'm definitely not well.
Yeah. Fix your shit, man. Well, what else you got going on? I'm glad your parents left though. You could have killed them with this fucking hybrid fucking.
What? I know. Thank God they left. But I called
whatever.
I called my dad. Make sure they're okay. They're not sick, and my dad is like, I never get sick. Like he's like, he's. I've never seen my dad sick. Like he never gets a cold. My mom either. He's like, no, my superior genes won't allow me to get sick. He's like,
what
you must
happened?
have got your mother's.
He shortchanged you.
yeah, you must have got my mother's. He said. So, but no, they never get sick, and I'm like, I get sick once a year like this. Like I got sick last year, the same December, the third week of December. So it's just I'm in my time frame right now for my once a year.
Your yearly plague.
Well, the temperature here is 28 one day and 80 the next. So, they'll do it to you.
Yeah, it got warm here too. I can't open the windows anymore. We've been running.
I'll tell you this though.
Been running the AC. Like it's offensive to me that in December I can't have the windows open,
right? And
I'm still paying a fortune to run the AC 24 hours a day.
I had to turn the AC on here.
November and December. I've had
pretty bad.
Like during the day, it gets too warm and humid. And so the best I could get is like at night, open it up. And then the next day, close it up. But now I can't even do that. I'm looking at I'm looking at like the forecast for like the next week. And I'm like, oh shit. Looks like I'm paying more on my electricity bill than I usually do in December. This
same here. I put the air on today in December, and here it's like crazy.
This climate change shit sucks.
Well, I will say this.
I might have to move to like Virginia or somewhere.
Hawaii. It snowed in Hawaii today.
I don't want to go to Hawaii. Too many volcanoes.
I was, this whole being sick thing. I really thought to myself, this is great. I'm sick. I get a 3-4 day head start. I could jump on a diet. I'll be good. Can I tell you?
Why does being sick mean you're on a diet?
Well, because I thought I would lose my appetite. No, that didn't happen. Did not happen, my friend. One day I kind of didn't want to eat a little bit, but I'm powering down. Now, I will say, I have not made any TikToks really because I just didn't want chocolate. Like I just wasn't feeling it. I made a video yesterday, a video the day before drinking tea. I have not even posted today because, like, I just I just don't.
They're fatty. They make other British foods than chocolate. You don't have.
That's all I have.
Why?
Why? I don't know. That's what the people send me.
The people. You got to give the people what they want.
Right. I mean, dance, monkey dance. Yeah. I'm just dancing.
Okay, let's be it. Can we clear the air on your TikToks for a minute here?
There we go.
I'm getting a little bored with you trying chocolate. It's like, how many fucking Cadbury products are there? There's like so many.
Seriously.
There's so many foods other than candy that you could be trying, and I just feel like I'm starting to get a little bored with it. It's like, there's not, when you like Cadbury chocolate, we know that already. So every time you try something from Cadbury, I can predict you're going to go, oh, I like that a lot. That's going to be the response every single time. So I don't even watch your 30-second TikToks all the way through. And once I see what it is, I'm like, well, I know the spoilers to this one, and flip, I move on to the next thing.
Yeah, but listen.
Yeah.
I did tea the last 2 days. Tea. So
yeah,
change it up a bit.
Did you dip anything in your tea?
I didn't know. I just drank the tea because I'm sick. The tea makes you feel better. It's what it does.
Did it?
Briefly. Yeah. But I'm over here, can't stop coughing. It's ridiculous.
I want, before we start this podcast, I went to a certain individual's social media to see if there are any updates on the arson investigation for us.
Yeah,
there weren't, unfortunately. So
he's taking off.
Yeah, I feel like, but I like doing that investigative journalism. I feel like we should do more true crime stuff, or at least you should give us some true crime stories from your days working LP.
I mean, I got a lot of stories, and it's funny because I was telling somebody recently, one of the newer people in my company, and kind of like, I've been around the block, like I'm an OG of loss prevention, and a lot of these people are, they're just newer, they've not done much, and the game has changed. Like when I started, we chased, and it was like the Wild West. You chased, you fought, it was brutal.
I noticed on like for example, like on TikTok, you see a lot of like really passive trying to stop people from,
because you have to be,
but you can't touch them. You can't.
Nope.
So like I saw like maybe it was a Walmart or somewhere where they just tipped the guy's cart over.
Right.
And then the guy like angrily started to like refill the cart, and then they're like blocking the cart and they're holding the cart, but they can't touch the person. And so it's it's wonky, man. They're stealing.
So you can't anymore because
you can't even like,
here's the problem.
You can't restrain them. You can't like force them to open their bags, or you can't search them physically. How do you even do your job?
Because the reason is because the law, like if you were to tackle a shoplifter and they get hurt, they're going to sue you.
Sure.
They're going to sue the company. They're going to win.
Sure.
The liability is, or they're going to kill you, and now you're dead because you're trying to stop, Walmart's $300, which means nothing to Walmart. So I get it, but it is frustrating because it happens all the time. But here's the thing is,
but you said, but it means nothing to them. But everyone has figured that out. And now they're it's a free for all. You see these like gangs of people loading up and just walking out,
Right. So you can't do anything. But back in the day when I started, it was the Wild West. I mean, I had handcuffs, issued to me by my company at the time. I mean, I would chase people, fight people. I don't know if I was telling this story the other day, and I don't know if I ever told this on the podcast, but there was been a couple of times where I remember I stopped a group of girls, and when I got outside, she pulled out a can of bear mace, and the bear mace was like, it was like a 3-foot, 4-foot can. It was absolutely gigantic.
Well,
and she just pointed at me, and I was like, "Oh,
bears
shit.
are big creatures. You might need a lot of mace." Yeah.
Well, she apparently thought I was a big creature because she fucking sprayed it at me. So I was like, "Whoa," and I, at that point she could have the shit. But I mean, just the amount of times, like when you think about what you're saying now, you can't stop anybody. I mean, I literally got into physical, like, fighting altercations with people where they thought, they could buck up on me and didn't realize that, like, I'm scrapping. We can go. And, we full on, I remember one dude, I was on the other side of the bushes, and he was like on one side, I was on the other side, and he was like, he didn't know like which way to go. Like his only option was to run towards where I was if he wanted to get away. So I had somebody else there, so they were kind of behind him, and he thought it was a good idea to just leap and jump in the air, clear the bushes, and maybe he could take off running. It was like a goal line stand. He was in the air, and we just hit right into the bushes. Boom! And he went down. Like once he's down, and you start fucking him up because now it's a fight. Until you get him handcuffed and subdued. But like that should happen all the time. Now you can't do that, But one story actually had nothing to do with shoplifting. I don't know if I ever told this story before. So I was in Boynton Beach, Florida, and I get told that there's a fight in the parking lot. They're like, there's 4 people fighting. So I look outside, and it's 3 females and a male, but it's 2 on 2, I think it was.
Right.
But it was a male. Well, the one female is like, him and her and this guy were going at, like they were throwing blows. Like it was full on fighting. Actually, it was 3 on 2. They're fighting. In the parking lot. So, I was like, hey, you guys gotta stop. I'm gonna call the police. They didn't care. Well, one of the women, the guy was like taking blows. He was giving them back. And the girl had like wild hair, and she was just taking like right hands just like it was nothing. And the one girl breaks off from the fight, goes to the back of the car, and pulls out a giant stop sign. Like she had taken it off of like the actual stop sign pole.
Like this is some hardcore wrestling match or something.
Right. And she like broke off from the fight and went to the car, pulled it out of the back seat. And I'm like, who the fuck has a stop sign in the back seat? Well, she gets it.
Well, and who thinks that's like to dip out of the fight for a minute to go get it?
And like, why was it there? Like, where did it come from? And she picks up this stop sign. Everybody's held an actual stop sign. They're not. That's a pretty awkward thing to hold and swing.
They're big.
Right. She just unloads and levels the girl. Levels her with the fucking stop sign. Levels her.
They're pretty sturdy because I guess they have to they have to deal with weather and stuff like that. They can't be flimsy,
So, but it was funny because like unloads on them. Boom. I'm like, oh shit. But the minute they heard the sirens, the fight literally stopped. She picked up the stop sign, put it back in the car. They got in the car, drove off. The other 3 got in the car, drove off. The cop got there. He's like, I was like, they all left. I don't even know. They're gone. Like, they're gone. Like, they're gone. He's like, where'd they? I said, she hit the lady with a stop sign. And they just, when they heard your sirens, just got up and left. Like I said, nothing ever happened. And went their separate ways. Yeah. The strangest thing I've ever seen. But,
that's fantastic.
I've been,
man, if you had the foresight, like when you were working some of these opportunities to like get like the security footage of these incidents, just to keep, you'd have made a fortune or selling these clips to like like TMZ or Viral Hog or
right. Back
like
in the day, right?
America's Funniest Videos, any of that shit.
Right. No, you're right. But I've had a syringe pulled
World
on
Star.
Me. I've had mace, syringes. I got a firearm or knife. Fighting. I had one.
When someone pulls a syringe on you, is there
Orlando?
Is there is there some kind of like verbal attachment to that? Like I'm gonna shoot you up, or like this needle's dirty with my AIDS blood, or is it just like he's just holding the needle and looking at you like, man, I'm gonna poke the shit out of you somewhere, and no words are necessary.
Well, he said to me, it was Orlando, Florida, Colonial Drive, and he said to me, if you get close to me, I'm gonna take the needle out of my backpack and stab you with it. That was all he said. I was like, but like I talked to him and I was like, man, you don't want to do that, man. Like you don't want to do that. Like we will find you. Like he was riding the bus.
That's like
he was trying to get to the bus stop.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, you gotta wait for the bus. I'm like, bro, he had it in his backpack, but he never like took it out. But I was able to smooth talk him to like, calm down or whatever. But I don't know. There was drugs in it. It wasn't AIDS or anything. It was drugs.
Yeah.
But fucked up like the thought process. I mean, he was stealing like a Hawaiian shirt. I was like, bro, like really? Like it was like an $80 Hawaiian shirt, and like, but just the stories.
He had a
I
luau to
remember
go
one
to.
time.
He might have had a luau.
I guess. One time I got a guy calm as can be, handcuffed him. We're walking through the store, and about halfway, he decides, with handcuffs on, he's gonna try to fight me. He made one shoulder like move at me.
Wait,
I grabbed him.
Cuffs behind him?
Yes. I did a hip toss, and we took out like every rack, and all the women's clothing racks were like a dominoes, effect.
Yeah.
And we just cleared out the whole thing, and everybody was just looking at us. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. Like, this is not gonna be good. But he tried to shoulder check me. But my favorite story, I've told this. I know I've told this. I've told it recently. Being that we're so close to Christmas, it's the perfect time to tell it. And we'll end with this. Christmas Eve, don't even know what year it was, 2005 maybe, 2006. Two women come into the store. I was working for Steinmart at the time, and it was like right before closing, and they come in and they just start grabbing stuff and putting it, they were wearing dresses, and putting it in their pantyhose, and then like lifting it up, and you can't see because they have a dress on.
Right.
And they were waddling out of the store. So it was me, my boss, and another guy there, and we go out to stop them. We're talking thousands of dollars. And we go out to stop them, and they obviously, they want to fight, take off. So the one who kind of looked like a little crackhead took off to the left, and me and the other guy kind of like hemmed her up like a lineman like pushing, like blocking, and we put her into the glass window. All I remember hearing from behind is a smack on the ground. Like I heard like body hit pavement. It was like whoosh, and I turn around, and my boss, who is in his 50s at the time, little guy, is on top of this woman who is probably 300 pounds in the middle of the road with cars like beeping their horns. It's dark out, and he's so little that he's on her back. So that was her body hitting the pavement when he tackled her. And he's so little, she's so big, he's kind of hovering, and his legs are just like kicking in the air off the back of her. Like they're not even touching the ground. And he's kind of choking her out, but he's hovering because she's so big and he's so little. And I remember looking back, and I'm like, oh God, like I didn't even know what to think. Like, do I help him? Do I laugh? I mean, people are beeping horns and crazy.
But I feel like he's still got the advantage because when you're that big, it's hard to like get up. It's like a turtle on its back kind of thing,
Right.
Once you get him down,
Well, so we ended up getting him inside, whatever. And that was I know I've told this before. They had gotten out of prison that day. So they got out of prison that day, didn't know each other. As they walked out of prison, they were both released at the same time. We're like, hey, where you going? She said, down to Boca. And she said, well, I'm going to come with you. You want to hit some stores and rob them? Yeah, let's go. They started at Best Buy. They went to Bed Bath & Beyond, Walgreens, and then Steinmart. We were the last stop that evening. So when the cops went to go look in the car was full of comforters, electronics. They literally had a field day. And they opened the trunk, and all their letters were there from them being in prison. They each had their boxes full of shit, full of letters. They were in prison for a long time. They got out and went right back to prison. The guy's like, they're not even out. Like, they literally got out this morning, and they're going
12
back
hours.
tonight.
Like 12 hours.
Right. And the one little crackhead one.
Not even an hour before they're committing crimes again.
No. Right. And she was staring at me in the room, handcuffed with the police there, just staring at me, going, when I get out, I'm going to find you. When I find you, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like a young kid, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm like, am I going to die? And they're like, and the cop just looked at her. He's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, shut the fuck up. And she's like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to find him. He's like, you ain't getting the fuck out anymore. We are not letting you out. And that was like, I'll never forget. Like, I can vividly remember that entire evening.
For years, when you get a mystery knock at the door at a weird hour, did her face come to mind?
So it's funny because I can picture her face today in my head. I can tell you what she was wearing, she had a dress on.
If we had a sketch artist, you could give a perfect
rendition. She was wearing a fake leather jacket over the dress, and she had like no teeth, and she was skinny, and she had little twisty dreads like on her head. But I vividly remember her face, like looking at me, like, when I get out, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you. I was like, oh fuck, like I didn't know, you know. I was like, I'm young, I'm like 25 years old. I was like, am I gonna die? And the cop's like, she fucking ain't gonna find you. He's like, she couldn't even find her way home today. That's all. He's like, she ain't going nowhere. But it's a wild world, man. But like I don't know if loss prevention is the same in other countries. I would imagine probably not, because here in the Americas we're wild. I don't know. Pretty wild.
I think it really varies from country to country. Like some countries, it's like it was 25 years ago, like what you were talking about. And I think in some countries it's worse than it is here now, with like, you know, afraid to fucking hurt anyone's feelings or touch anybody or invade personal space or whatever the fuck else, you know. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
I saw.
That's really.
I since we might as well do a little business here at the end here. I saw you. You know, well, I look. This is how generous of a fucking co-host I am, and how thoughtful I am. That I'm. Before we wrap up, I want to make sure you get your plug in for your cameo, because especially since you took a beating today. I mean, like you literally, like your team really just let you down. You know, I just want to make sure you know that you could sleep tonight, knowing that people know that you do cameos, and,
listen,
and that for the low price of.
Well, so it's $10.
Yeah,
but starting tomorrow through the 10th, Cameo is running a 25% off sale. 25% off. So you get a couple bucks off.
So for $7.50,
right?
They can. You will dance like a monkey for them. You will perform.
Perform. You want birthday wishes? I can do.
It's too late for Hanukkah.
Birthday wishes.
Too late for
I can do.
But we can do
too
Christmas.
Too late for Hanukkah wishes.
New Year's.
We could do Merry Christmas, New Year's.
Oh my God.
You know, even if if you know me personally and you wanna send a joke to someone else we know personally. Look, I'm the guy. You tell them you got them a great birthday present, and it's me. Right? Like, hey, or hey, I got a birthday present for you. It's a cameo, and they think they're getting The Rock or somebody cool like that. You know, maybe you know Sylvester Stallone. And here is AJ Slambino going, "Hey, happy birthday!" It's the funniest thing ever. It's only $7.50. I'm way cheaper than The Rock.
I don't even think The Rock offers his services.
Probably not.
But
no, The Undertaker doesn't. He's like $600.
Yeah,
so
that's ridiculous.
Forget The Undertaker. I'm still undefeated.
That guy's a millionaire many times over. He doesn't need that. He should be happy to take care of his fans and do it for 30. What a greedy pig. Look at you. Right. You're at least reasonable.
Over here giving up 25% off.
Yeah, 25% off. Only $10 to begin with. You know, that's really something. You know. Yeah,
right. So
I think for the cameo, a lot of you should like request him to just put on a big diaper and be Baby New Year and film a video.
Whatever it is.
We'll get you in the
We'll get
you in the diaper changing position with you on your back.
Pin me, pay me. What a diaper changing position. Oh God.
And while we're on the begging you to spend money on stupid shit, we have some merchandise on our store. You can also you should download all of our
social
medias. Well, you don't download those. I guess you follow them. You should subscribe. If you're listening to podcasts, do us a favor and subscribe and set it to the auto download. That way you don't miss any. But also, like, even if you don't listen to them all, we get a little. It helps our numbers a little bit. I don't know what else. What else can we do to like? How else can we stand with our hand out here?
Well, you know, I you know.
All the sales are the special sales are over, but we do all of our merch right now is a permanent on clearance at a discount. Right. It's not a sale so much as we're blowing it out. It's the same thing, I guess. But if you go to the website, we've got some Breakfast Club stuff there.
Right. hats, tanks, hoodies, tees.
Yeah, all the good
right.
stuff.
We had a couple orders the other day. Yeah. I saw, so I may surprise you with one of those orders, though.
What does that mean?
Well, because I am part owner of the Breakfast Club here with you. We are business partners. We are co-owners. I do not own a hoodie.
Right.
But.
Here's the beautiful
one of those orders
thing
that came in, pal. One of those orders that came in this weekend. Just want to let you know, the hoodie's for me.
I was going to make the joke, but you kind of helped make it for me. Is that we have been out of your size for a while, but you are no longer that size. So I was going to say I could send you a 3X at any point, but apparently someone has bought that for you, and so now I'm glad you've sized up so that you can have a hoodie. Listen, hoodies are meant to look baggy anyways. So even if this cold lasts,
cool.
If this cold lasts a week and you drop like 3 pounds, you'll still look fine in it.
No, it's cool. The half owner has to pay it's a good thing that Sarah is such a smart person and bought me this hoodie.
Let me ask you a question. Do you really want to go into the accounting of this enterprise and the columns of red and black and who's been fucking shouldering those?
Listen, all I know is
who has to pay all the web hosting fees every month. Listen, and who has to fucking.
I get it. Listen, but I am the Hulk Hogan, the John Cena, the Dwayne Johnson, the Rock. I am carrying this. Well, I know you're doing all the hard work. I get it. You are the Pat Patterson of the team.
Oh my God. That could imply a lot of things. Could you pick someone else, please?
Listen, you are the Pat Patterson.
Pick another stooge, okay?
The Tony Gurria of the Briscoe. You're the Briscoe of the Enterprise, and it's cool because I would rather be that or my spot. Just remember that Marco quit on you. Just remember that. I'm leaving it at that.
Right.
He quit.
And
on us.
And our other two, our other 3 Breakfast Club members, all different shades of leaving the group. Although Blake's technically still in it. Although he's about to job himself out of it.
Right. You know what? It's like the disappearing Back to the Future picture. Next thing you know, it's going to just be me and you left, pal.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I so appreciate Mr. I don't watch TV or movies making that reference.
Right.
Brilliant.
Well, so this is funny because I make a movie reference, and you said you watched Karate Kid, right?
Yeah.
I watched Back to the Future 1 and 2 parts of it yesterday, so it was on TV. So we're coming full circle here today. But yeah, the disappearing picture. It's going to be me and you, buddy. That's it.
Those just like Karate Kid, modern day classics. Back to the Future, Karate Kid, modern day classics.
All right, that's all I got. I got to.
Yeah, we're all off the rails and off point, anyways.
We're done.
But listen, what I just want to emphasize again: milk is disgusting, and I'm not going to drink milk straight. There's plain milk. Drink it. By choice is not like, even if I was like dying of thirst, I would look at a glass of milk and kind of like really have to fucking think about it. Okay.
Right.
It's disgusting. It's just disgusting.
All right. I'm done with you. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.